Next up on the AFC South draft grades is the Indianapolis Colts. In the offseason, the Colts traded for starting quarterback Carson Wentz from the Philadelphia Eagles. With Rivers retiring, they really needed a quarterback replacement, and they got one in Carson Wentz. And with their first-round pick, some people were expecting the Colts to take a wide receiver, but instead they got best player available, taking Michigan edge rusher Kwity Paye. Justin Houston retired in the offseason. This was a fantastic selection here by the Colts. I really do not think you could have got a better player here with a 21st pick overall in the draft getting Kwity Paye. It was a team need. He was best player available. This is arguably the best case scenario here for the Colts getting Kwity Paye in the first round. In the second round, they took Vanderbilt defensive end Dayo Odubingo. This was a massive reach here, in my opinion. He was not even a top 6 or 7 edge rusher here, in my opinion. This really makes no sense. I thought this was one of the bigger reaches here on day 2. The Colts did not have a third-round pick, but I honestly believe there was a chance that Dayo Odubingo could have lasted to the Colts in the 4th round because of the massive reach. There was many better edge rushers here available. There's lots of wide receivers here in the second to maybe give Carson Wentz some more weapons because T.Y. Hilton's getting up there in age. But, instead they take a massive reach, taking Odubingo, the edge rusher from Vanderbilt. They did not have a third-round pick selection, but with their 4th-round pick, they took SMU tight end Kylan Granson. This, to me, was kind of another reach here. I thought there was many tight ends better available here than Granson. One stands out is Brevin Jordan, who was drafted by, division rival, the Houston Texans. I really think Granson here was a bit of a reach. There was many wide receivers here available. There was some fantastic edge rushers here in the 4th. I really think they could have possibly got Granson with their next pick. But with their next pick, that happens to be in the 5th round, the Indianapolis Colts took Sean Davis, the safety from Florida. This wasn't a horrible pick, but honestly, I still think there were some better players here available. It was a team need. I'm not totally for it. I'm not totally against it. It was a solid pick, nothing great by any means, but an okay pick there in the 5th by the Colts. In the 6th, they kind of surprised some people with actually taking a quarterback. They took Texas quarterback Sam Ehlinger. I do not hate this idea getting Ehlinger in the 6th. He was a very successful college quarterback. Maybe a project guy. I think could be a decent backup in the NFL. Learned a lot from Carson Wentz, who has been in the league for quite some time. I think this was a solid pickup here by the Colts. They actually had 2 7th-round picks, and with their first 7th-round pick, they took Mike Strachan, the wide receiver from Charleston University. I would really like this pick here. I think Strachan was one of the more underrated wide receivers in the draft class. Playing at Charleston University in West Virginia, you do not play, top-level competition. The fact that you were drafted and many teams were interested in you really proves how good you are and how valuable you can be on a team. I thought this was a fantastic pick here for the Colts. And to close it out, they took Will Fries, the offensive tackle from Penn State. I really think there were some much better players here available. And I know in the 7th round, you're not going to get many, big hits on players. But in my philosophy is in the 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds, you always take best player available instead of a team need. That's not really what the Colts did here with Will Fries, but that's exactly what they did with Mike Strachan. Big fan of the Mike Strachan pick, but not really a fan of the Will Fries pick. Overall, I thought the Colts had an okay draft, but I ended up giving the Colts a draft grade of a B-.